My friends, welcome back. What episode are we on now? I see. Sometimes I'm prepared, sometimes I'm not. I think it's 24. If I had to guess, I'm gonna guess 24, and we're gonna see how right I am. I'm gonna check. I'm sorry, I should have checked before I recorded, but I'm remembering how to create content again. It's been a hot minute. Okay, we're on 23. I gotcha. Yeah, 22 is the one that went up during the con, and now we are on episode number 23. Well, welcome back. For me, this is so. I am barely back, right? And there haven't been any streams. I haven't done any content creation of any kind. This is the first thing I'm doing, coming back. I mean, not the first thing I'm doing, like I ate food and like existed, but this is the first content creation type of thing that I did and that I'm doing. And not that I did, I'm doing it currently. So yeah, I'm back. Hello. I mean, I say I'm back, right? It's funny because for some people, right, it's like I'm back, like I went to another state or something. I drove 25 minutes. That was I guess like the airport is like 30 minutes. So I drove like 30 minutes but from the hotel, it's like 25, 30. I mean, we'll say half an hour. Okay. So I was like half an hour gone. And now we are here with you once again from the comfort of my office. Me, you, my office, and Jack's downstairs, and that's everything, I guess. The con, we had a great time as always. Cons are always a super fun time, and I just thought it'd be a good episode to just kind of go through. And I think I'm gonna probably tell some stories on during the stream, and it'll be better because people will be there to I say people, like the people that were there, like Kellen, Cole, and Arterly that were there, can tell us, add their inputs, and then they can, play off of me and whatnot. So that part will be better, but it's just like as a whole entire trip rundown. I think doing it this way will be cool, and I think it'll be a good way to just kind of go through each day. And it's also cool, right? I think it's kind of fun because I wasn't with those guys 100% of the time. Like, I won't lie, we were together most of the time. Like, a lot of the time. Don't know what percentage, but it was a high percentage. Like, I guess you'll see what the percentages are as I go through the stories. But it was a really, really high percentage that we were together. But I think it's kind of fun because then, they'll be able to be like, whoa, that's where vaRAIety was. I know at least Kel and Otterly still listen to the podcast to some extent. So they might be able to listen to this and be like, whoa, so that's what vaRAIety was doing when we weren't with him at this juncture of the convention. So anyway, yeah, I guess we'll take it back 2 weeks ago. Well, it's not 2 weeks ago, but it's like the Tuesday right before the con, right? And I had my stream. What are we doing? Oh, we did marbles, right? So we had marbles, and I signed off the stream, and I was having dinner, and I was going to chill because Wednesday wasn't really going to be a con day. Wednesday was going to be my final day at the house to kind of get ready and stuff and just get ready. Tuesday, Cal messages me and says, hey, vaRAIety, what's a good hotel to stay at? Because it is 12 hours before we're flying out, and I haven't bought my hotel for Wednesday night. And I say, Kel, that's not a very good idea. It's WrestleMania week, brother. There's not a lot out there, and it's going to be marked up like hell. That's not a very good idea. And Kel said, well, it's fine. We'll just stay at the airport that would have been 16-ish hours. And I said, Raiju, no, Kel. And I immediately went and booked a free room with my, so people ask, how do you get a free room? It's because I gamble a lot of money. They like me. So I booked my free room, and I said, all right, well, change of plans. We're all going to meet up tomorrow then. And we're going to start our vacation a day early on Wednesday. I mean, vacation a day early. So yeah, Wednesday rolled around, had work, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And finished work, and yeah, it was already basically time to go get Otterly. He got in at what time? 6 something. So I went and picked him up at 6 something, and I'd also like told him because he had the Con Hotel a night early. But I said, well, do you want to come and hang out with Kel and Cole and I on a day early at our hotel on the Strip instead? And he said, sure. So I picked him up on Wednesday at 6:30 ish and said hello. And so we met up, and then we went to Fremont Street, which is like downtown Las Vegas, for a little bit, showed him some sights, and we went back to my house. He got to meet Jax, and he liked Jax. Jax liked him. All was good. He got to meet Toshabi, and then basically it was just like a really quick stop at the house for like half an hour at most because I had to get all the stuff packed up in the car. I didn't really want to drive around with it. Like, it was a lot of stuff, you know. So yeah, it was a lot of stuff. So I didn't really want to drive around with it. So I said, we'll just go up to my house and get it and then put it in the car and then head out. So yeah, so we packed up the car. It was like 9:30, 9:45. Kel and Cole were getting in at like 10. I don't remember the time now, 10 something. So we were going to go pick them up at 10 something. And it's about half an hour from my house. Unfortunately, my GPS took me a stupid way. I ended up going, I went to the airport 2 times that day. And the first time it took me, so there's 2 routes to get to the airport. There's the more, what I call like the aggressive way, which is technically faster, but during traffic times, it's not better because you're passing by the Strip where there's a lot of traffic. So during the first, when I picked up Waterley, it had me go the safer way, which is like a little more out of the way, but you'll never run into traffic there. And so I did that at like 6 o'clock. When I went, the GPS told me to do that. So I said, okay. And then at 10 o'clock, the GPS said, oh, you can go the aggressive way, which, I mean, I guess it was thinking because it's late, there's not going to be traffic, on a Wednesday night. I mean, makes sense, but unfortunately there was a lot of traffic. So it was kind of annoying to get to Kel and Cole, on that time, but it worked out okay. No problem. We got them. We picked up Da Boys and, got them in the car, and there was like, I was not prepared. I don't have a big car, and we had a lot of stuff. So my car was very, very packed, but we made it work. And yeah, so this is still Wednesday, and we had a room on the Las Vegas Strip to have. So we got in, and oh yeah, this is bad. So we got in, and it was like 11 something now, quite late. And we're all tired. I mean, Otterly and Kel and Cole had to travel. Me, I was tired because I had to work all day and then drive to the airport twice. I spent like the last 4 hours driving around. So yeah, it was a tiring day for all of us. We were all ready to go to bed, or at least like settle down. But we get there, and I guess so. Most, like many places, right? The Strip hotels have converted mostly to you check into your hotels via a kiosk. Just like how grocery stores have self-checkouts, and a lot of places are like pushing you to using robotic stuff instead of talking to a person. They have kiosks, which is fine. I like kiosks. Nothing wrong with kiosks. However, I guess I don't know what was wrong. Maybe there was a technological issue, but the kiosks were down. And so there was a billion people in the line, and there's like 1 or 2 workers working, which I assume they don't normally stock much staff, especially on a Wednesday, because they have kiosks, but the kiosks weren't working. And so there was 1 million people in line. So we waited like an hour in line to check in, what should have been like a 5-minute process at most. So that was horrible. Absolutely horrible. We got into our hotel room at like 12-ish, I think, probably was about the time-ish. We went up to the room. We dropped our stuff off. Kel and Cole were starving. They hadn't eaten, I think, all day or something. I don't even know how long. It's been a while. And I wasn't really that hungry, but I think it was more from like, when you're really tired, you're not really even concerned about food. But they're like, are you hungry? And I'm like, well, I haven't eaten in like 12 hours, so I probably should eat. I'm not really hungry, but I will eat. And then Otterly just said he wanted to stay in. He was tired, and he wanted to take a shower, I think, and start getting ready for bed. So he stayed, and Kel and Cole and I left to go find food. And thankfully where we were staying at the Horseshoe, there's a big They call it the what is it called? Is it called the something shops? Is it called the Grand Canal, or is that the other one? I always forget the name. But anyway, there's like a bunch of shops and restaurants out there, and so they wanted something very fast because it was late at night, and they just wanted to eat. I understand. So we went to something fast, and the fast restaurant we chose was Subway. Which, if you know Subway, which I think probably everyone knows Subway, right? Don't they have Subway in like every country ever? I think they do. So they chose Subway, and normally, as you might imagine, Subway would be a good choice, right? Because Subway is usually pretty darn fast. It's pretty easy. You just go and you say, "I want to get these toppings," and it's easy. And so we get in there. There's one person in front of us, no problem. We're just gonna get our sandwiches real quick, and let me tell you, there's some characters in Vegas, and our employee was quite a character. So she was going on and on about how she was quitting this job because they suck or something. I don't know. Managers suck. I don't know. She was ranting. I think she told us that she quit her job, or like she had her 2 weeks in and she was going to be gone soon. She told us like 15 times in like a short interaction. So anyway, it was almost hilarious how, I don't want to say bad at her job, because I think she just didn't really care. And she was also, listen, I'm not trying to be mean. She was incredibly old, at the age where she probably shouldn't have been working, but sometimes older people have to work because the economy is tough, right? But she was struggling, right? And it was to a point where on my sandwich in particular, we were laughing because everything I told her, it was like she did the opposite. And like, you know, like you would almost think it was a bit, right? If it was like a 25-year-old guy, you'd be like, oh, they're effing with me. They're just trying to be funny. But it was almost a bit. Like she said, like, do you want your sandwich toasted? And I said, no, thank you. And so she immediately put it in the toaster. Like, oh, do you want spinach on your sandwich? Oh, yes, please. Immediately skips over it and doesn't put spinach on. Like, she was literally doing the exact opposite of like almost everything that we asked for, and it was hilarious. However, she got me and Cole's sandwiches very wrong, but she got Kel's sandwich perfect. So we were making the joke of how that was Kel's first MILF victory of the trip. But yeah, it really was to a point where it seemed like a bit, like it would have been like a YouTube video, or like you know that show like Impractical Jokers, like, okay, when they ask for whatever they ask for, do the opposite, like ha 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 ha. Like it wasn't a bit, but it would have been a good bit. Like if I watched that on like a TV show, I would have been laughing because it was just so ridiculous. But I mean, listen, none of us really minded. It was whatever. She was old. She quit her job. She was trying her best. There was like quite a few people in there at that point, and it was very late at night. And listen, she was trying her best. So no problem. But it was very comical that she seemingly almost intentionally got every single thing on our order wrong. Except Kel. She loved Kel. Everyone loves Kel. So then we got our food and we just went back to the hotel, ate really, really quickly. I just remember that, like, it was a weird moment. We were all just like, we'd all been talking like the entire time, right? Because we were like meeting each other and stuff for the first time. But we were eating, and I just remember like I could hear the crunch of my chips because we were all just silent eating because we were all hungry and wanted to eat because it had been quite the ordeal to start the vacation, I will say. So yeah, but we ate our food. We, those of us who were showered, went to bed, and that was that. So we woke up on Thursday, and I don't know what Kel and Cole did. I'm speaking only from my perspective. I know they were up early. The challenge is for those East Coasters, right, is like they're 3 hours past us. So at like 6 a.m. for us, it's 9 a.m. for them. So their bodies are used to waking up at, say, like 9 a.m. Let's just say that's like a normal time, right? Then they're going to wake up at 6 a.m. And no one wants to wake up at 6 a.m. on vacation. I sure wasn't waking up at 6 a.m. on vacation. But their bodies would get them up. So they were up early. I tried to sleep a little bit. I'm sure I didn't get 8 hours, but I got a few hours. So we were okay. And we checked out of that hotel because it was Thursday, and now we're going to the Con Hotel. So we went to the Con Hotel. We went straight from there to the Con Hotel, right? And it was very early. It was like, it was checkout time of the first hotel, which was like 11 a.m. And normally check-in, and I don't know if this is universal, but usually check-out of a hotel is 11 a.m. and check-in of a hotel is 3 p.m.-ish. So we weren't going to be able to check into the Tuscany, which is the Con Hotel, or one of the Con Hotels, the one that we stayed at. We weren't going to be able to check in there until 3 p.m. But there's never a harm in asking, right? So we got to the Tuscany. We said, well, we'll check. And so Otterly talked to the guy. And by the way, Otterly never canceled his Wednesday reservation, so it was still on the thing. And he's coming in on Thursday. So we thought, well, at least Otterly can get his room because like he was supposed to be here yesterday, so he's at least entitled to come in like early today. He should be, right? And so he went to first, and the guy's like, no, we don't have the room ready. Sorry, it's not going to be ready till 3. So sorry, you're out of luck, bucko. And so like, okay, well, no problem. And so I'm behind him in line, and I'm like, I'm in charge of the Kel and Cole and Raichi room. And I'm thinking like, well, it's probably not worth it for me to even try. Like they just told Otterly there's no room. However, what's the harm in trying, right? And let's see what happens. So I put on the Raiju Riz. I was talking to this guy as a local, which he saw my ID. He got to see as a local. I was talking about it. I'm like, yeah, I come here to gamble a lot. Never stayed at the hotel, but excited to try it. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's very early, so you probably don't have the room, but I figured I'd ask. And he's like, oh, no, of course. Let's see if we can get you in. And long story short, he got me in immediately. And Otterly was not in. So then we got the first Raiju Riz counter of the Raiju Riz getting us favored privileges. And so, yeah, I was telling the guys before, I was like, I'm either going to have to Raiju Riz or I'm going to have to give them money depending on, what I feel like the situation calls for. And I probably should have given him money too, but I gave him friendliness and Raiju Riz. So that's good. It worked. We got the room. So we put all our stuff in to our room at 11. And that was honestly great because it meant we could just unpack right away. And there's a lot of stuff to unpack, and I didn't want to have to do it later, so that was wonderful. In fact, Thursday morning, for me anyway, I know it didn't work out great for Otterly because he didn't get his room, but for me, it worked out amazingly. We checked in, we got my whole car unpacked, which was a lot of stuff, and it's still only like shortly after 11, and so then we needed to eat because we hadn't eaten anything. So we went to the little cafe at the Tuscany, which I will not call it the Con Hotel from now on. You'll be, for those of you who weren't there that might be listening to this, you'll be required, your required knowledge is now to know that the Tuscany is the Con Hotel that we stayed at. So we went to the little cafe at the Tuscany. It's like a sit-down place, kind of similar to like a Denny's or something, I guess would be, or like an IHOP. I don't know what restaurants you guys have, but basically they serve breakfast foods, right? Like pancakes and like waffles and French toast and like eggs and, breakfast stuff. Do you know what breakfast food is? I'm sure you know what breakfast food is. So that's what they had. And so we got like, I think almost everyone actually, not Cal, but I think everyone else got pancakes, I think, because pancakes are pretty yummy. They were good pancakes too. So we ate our food, and it was really, I feel like it was our first really being alive time together, because on Wednesday night we were all kind of cooked and we didn't have that much time. We were all just kind of like, let's go to bed. So like we had our first like real chatting time and eating, and I was like, we were talking about where Kel and Cole are from, the city, because it's a weird name and I don't even remember the name. I know it starts with an O, but I was learning about Tennessee, so that's pretty cool. I learned a lot about Tennessee, and yeah, so that was fun. We had a really nice meal. I thought it was really nice. I think the others thought it was kind of mid, but I liked it anyway. I don't know. I'm just a normal guy, but I liked it. So anyway, we ate the food, and we got out of there, and it was still like, by now it's only like 12 something. So we're already into the hotel. It is Thursday of the con. The con goes through Sunday. Like nothing is going to be happening at the con. So we are so far ahead of the game. It felt freaking awesome. And we went back to the room. We were going to chill a little bit, and I was going to go be picking up Toshabi, because originally I was going to on Thursday, he was going to like ride down with me from our house. But since the plans changed and we had to go on Wednesday, he couldn't go because he had work, blah, blah, blah. And And so I was going to pick him up on Thursday at like, I don't know what time we said, like 2 or 3, depending on when we checked in, but we checked in early, so it went great. So I was going to go get him, but then Otterly, our brain of the operation, listen, everyone there very cool, but Otterly was definitely our brains. And he said, guys, what if we went and registered for the con? Because the con registration was open. We were like, what if we go? He was like, what if we go do it now before like the rush and the influx of people come in? And I'll be honest, like that's like I should have thought of that, right? But I was already in vacation mode, and I was like, "That Otterly, you're a genius. That's the best idea I've ever heard." And even better, it's not that far to the con hotel. Like we were at one of the con hotels, but like the main hotel, it's a little bit. You got to walk a mile or so. It's not that bad. We did it many times, but like I also like I was sober. So normally during cons, I will tell you guys, I don't like to drive because I want to be able to indulge in substances when offered, etc. But it was still early. We hadn't started the con, and I was going to be driving to get Toshabi, so none of us had drank or anything. And so it was very easy. I could just drive over. So we just drove over. We went, we registered. It took like 1 second, and then we left, and then we went back to the Tuscany. I dropped them off. I said, all right, I'm heading up to go pick up Toshabi. And by now it's like, what, 1 something maybe? I went and got Toshabi. And I picked up Toshabi. And I came back. Otterly had gotten his room. So that was great. And then, the con had officially begun because there we are. And listen, this is like Thursday afternoon. Everyone's checked in. The con is on. Toshabi's there. Everyone's there. The con has officially started, and that means it was shot o'clock. And so we drank a lot of alcohol. And by we, I mean everyone but Otterly. Listen, he's not allowed to have shots with us, okay? He's not allowed to have shots with us. He's not permitted. But Kel and Cole and me and Toshabi had a lot of shots, right? And then it was time to head off. It was time to go peruse the world. And I'm not really even sure. Listen, I'll be honest. We did a lot of drinking, and I'm not really exactly sure what our plan was as far. Oh, wait, I don't think Otterly had his room yet. I think when we got there, Otterly was still in our room, and I think we just decided like, oh, we'll just do some shots and stuff, and then we'll go get. So I remember now. So we went to the lobby, and then Otterly was standing in the line for the hotel check-in, and I was showing Toshabi the casino at Tuscany because he'd never been to Tuscany. I'd been before. I actually went to scout it out before the con like a few months ago. So I'd been there, but he'd never been there. So I was showing him around a little bit while they waited in line. And then they got in line. I remember we went back to Otterly's room where we I guess we went over there. I don't know. We went somewhere. And we got him, and then now Otterly was in his room. Now we could actually begin the convention. I mean, I had already listened. We were all pretty toasted except Otterly at that point. So our con had begun, but now the con could officially begin for the rest of us. And so we hit the strip, and I just remember we recorded some videos for Chili Mex as we were walking. And I don't know if Toshabi said we had a goal. We were going somewhere. Like, I think we were supposed to be going to the Venetian or something. That's the Italy place for Chili Mex. I think that's where we were supposed to be going. But honestly, at the time, I didn't even know what our plan was or where we were going. We were just kind of going. So we went there. And then we went to, we got an Uber, which I'll be honest, a lot of this evening is a little bit of a blur. I'm not going to lie to you because we had a great amount of alcohol, so please bear with me. We had some drinks, okay? So we took an Uber to Area 15, which is like I don't know, if you've never been to Vegas, you can Google it. It's a cool, funky, fresh place. And we went there and we walked around. It's a really, really, really cool vibe, especially when you've had some drinks. And I don't know if I've ever been there. I'm trying to think about, I mean, I've been there many times. Have I ever been there while drunk? I'm not sure I have. And it was a cool experience. We did a lot of stuff there. We were looking in some shops. We went to the arcade. We played in the arcade for a while. I remember I'll show you guys during the stream, but there's some funny little pictures because Toshabi had his Polaroid camera, so we were taking some little pictures there. But I remember on my phone even I have a picture of me of the score of basketball because me and Kel, you know how they have those little basketball arcade games? We had taken a picture of or I had taken a picture of the arcade game because I wanted to show that I beat Kel. What did I beat him at? Wait, this is a shitty picture. Wow, I'm horrible. I just realized I took the picture, but it doesn't even show that I won. That's freaking funny. I was really drunk. So apparently I took I took a picture to show that I won, but the picture didn't actually show that. So, oops, I guess. That's pretty funny. I'm so cool. So yeah, we did that, and then by the way, you might think like, oh, Raichu, you're so crazy, you were drunk. Kel doesn't even remember going there. Kel had an Ansem moment where he was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "That's where we were like all night on Thursday. I think on like Friday or Saturday he said that." And I'm like, "Brother, we were there for like 5 hours." And he's like, "We were?" And it's funny because we went back later in the trip, and he was like, "We've been here?" And he like, I think he vaguely remembered it once we actually went back there, but yeah, no, it was funny. So anyway, after that, I remember I called us the Uber from Area 15 and I messed up because I'm not used to having so many people. So we had 5 people because we had me, Kel, Cole, Otterly, and Toshabi. So it was too big for a normal Uber, but I ordered a normal Uber because I was drunk and dumb. So I ordered a new normal Uber, and the Uber guy came, and like I remember in my drunk state, I was like, "Oh, we can fit." And even the Uber guy was like, "Hell no, you can't fit." Like, I remember he was kind of aggressive. He was like, I think he was tired of dealing with drunk people. But he was like, "No, you can't." And so I put Kel and Cole and Otterly in that Uber, and I ordered another one for Toshabi and I because it was my fault. I screwed up. So no problem. We got them off to wherever we were going. I think we were going to Harrah's, which is another casino on the Strip. Yeah, that was a decent decision as far as like places to go to walk back to the Tuscany. You know, Uber prices can vary. There is a big strategy in ordering Ubers in Las Vegas because, yeah, Uber prices can vary quite a bit. So you usually want to check and see what hotel has the best rate, because it can be like literally they're next to each other and one can be like $5 more when it's like 1 extra minute of walking, or like 5 seconds extra of walking, or sometimes it's even closer and you have to pay more to go farther because the Uber is weird and like there's a lot of intricacies of driving in Las Vegas. But anyway, we did that, and Toshabi and I got our Uber and we all got there, and we started walking back, and yeah, I think everyone was deathly drunk, and by everyone I mean probably Kel, and I don't know how Cole was doing. Otterly was sober. Toshabi and I we weren't sober, but by that point I feel like we were all right-ish. I don't know if Kel was still pretty toasty. He probably was. But yeah, so we walked back from Harrah's to the Tuscany, and it was not that late. Like, I don't know, for me, right? I feel like I was the only one out of our group that did it, but I'm very much a I don't stay up late during my real life. I'm a very much little bitch that goes to bed early, but during cons, you gotta be out. Like, that's when stuff's happening, right? That's when parties are happening. That's when raves are happening. That's when the cool stuff's happening. So, and in general, just being out at night, it's Las freaking Vegas. So, I was staying up every night pretty late. But yeah, so that night it was like 11, and not Toshabi, sorry, Kel and Cole. We dropped Kel and Cole and Otterly off at their rooms for them to get some shut-eye. It was probably 11 something at that point. They were tired. We dropped them off and we headed to Toshabi. Neither of us had eaten. So here's the interesting thing. The last time we'd eaten was that breakfast thingy at like 11 or 12. I don't even know if we had a snack. Like, I think we had maybe chips at the room. I don't think we ate anything else that whole day. I'm trying to think, and I had some gummy worms, so that was a funny thing. I remember Cole told me I kept trying to feed Kel gummy worms when we were at Area 15. I had bought gummy worms. I love gummy worms, and I had been trying to feed them to Kel. And so apparently that happened. And I ate gummy worms, but all I'd eaten was like in 12 hours was like gummy worms and a lot of alcohol. And so my tummy was hurty. And I remember Tushabi was actually really hungry. And so we went to the pub. There's like a pub at the Tuscany. And so we went to this pub, and Tushabi got like a burger and all this stuff. And I remember like, he's like, "You don't want anything?" And I was like, "No, my tummy hurty." So I didn't get any food. I should have, but my tummy was hurty because all I'd eaten was gummy worms and alcohol. But I probably should have eaten. But it's okay, no problem. We ate there. I just chilled really. Tushabi ate. But we sat and he ate and we chatted and stuff. And then we went back to gamble more at the Tuscany. I say more, but we really hadn't gambled that day. So other than maybe like a couple of minutes here and there, it was really a pretty gamble-free day. So we were going to gamble a little bit at the Tuscany. So we did that for a little bit. And then he was heading home. He was going to be here to keep an eye on Jax while I was at the con. So he headed back it was like 2 a.m. He headed back home. And I said, "See you tomorrow," because his off days from work are Thursday, Friday. So he was going to be dropping by to hang out with us on those days. And that was Thursday. So goodbye to Tushabi. It's 2 a.m. He got his Uber. And I'll be honest, I was quite tired. He even commented at the dinner that we just eaten. He was like, "Wow, you look really tired." And I was like, "Yeah, I look tired because these guys woke up at the crack of freaking dawn today." So I was tired and I went to bed. But listen, during cons, you might be thinking, "Right, you should have just went to bed at like 11 p.m. No, you got to tough it out during cons. You don't go to bed at 11. So I was tired, but I toughed it out, and he went home, and I went to bed, and all was good. Woke up on Friday feeling good, and by the way, I was not hungover one single day the whole con, so I was pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. But anyways, Friday morning rolls around. Guys are rolling out of bed bright and freaking early, as always. They love that morning life, and we woke up, and it's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. And we all were ready, and it was time to head out. And so we were going to be going to the con for the first time. Well, not for the first time. We'd registered, but we were going to be going to the actual con. And it's still Friday, right? There's not a lot going on. And we were pretty aware of that. But we were going to go and see what was popping. We knew we had Dealer's Den access at 2. So the way this con did it was on Friday, they limited access. You had a certain window that you could go. To keep it from being, you know how Dealer's Dens can get really, really crowded and overwhelming? Well, they didn't want that to happen. So on Friday, they had it limited to certain people or in certain windows. So we had a window at 2 p.m. We got to the con at like 11 something. And to be honest, there wasn't a whole lot for us to do at that time. So we went across the street to what's called the Virgin Hotel. And we were going to get some lunch. Which I think it was Cal. I don't really remember. Maybe it was Cal, maybe it was Cole. I don't know. Those were the two that I mostly let lead with what kind of food they wanted. And one of them wanted pizza. So we went across the street. I said, "Oh, I know a good pizza place at the Virgin across the street." So it's literally directly across the street from the con, like a 1-second walk. The Tuscany's about 0.9 miles. So it's like a, 10, 15 minute walk maybe. Not too bad. But yeah, the Virgin is like a 1-minute walk. So yeah, we went to the Virgin, and we got some pizza, and now it's RAIety Riz / MILF winning moment number 2. I didn't want to eat. I think I had a croissant. So there's like a little cafe at the hotel, and I'm not like I eat breakfast food, and I'm fine with just having like a carb item, like a bagel or a croissant or toast or something, right? And so I just wanted a croissant from the I had my coffee. So I just had that. But the guys wanted it really wasn't even lunchtime yet, but they wanted pizza. So no problem. So we'll go get pizza, but I wasn't going to get anything because I had my croissant. I was good. And so had our croissant, and it was good. Quite enjoyed it. But yeah, so then we got to the pizza place, and the RAIety Riz moment. I just wanted a drink. I'm not really sure why. I guess I was thirsty. This is the reason. I just wanted like a soda, and it was like, I don't know, $3 or something. And so I was like, okay, no problem. I'm going to buy a soda. So I went up to the counter, and the lady's like, "Oh, and what can I get for you?" She'd already helped Kel and Cole, by the way. And she's like, "Well, what can I get for you?" And I was like, I just want a soda, thank you. And I had my money like in my hand to give her, and she's just like, no, it's okay. And I didn't understand at first, so I tried to like hand her the money again, and she's like, no, like it's okay, like I got it covered, like no problem. And I was like, whoa, the vaRAIety strikes again. I just saved like $3 free drink. So anyway, I got my free drink. That's about it. But it was exciting to me. I like free stuff. So thank you, lady, for the free sody. I appreciate it. It was delicious. I got Coke, I think. I think it was Coke or something. Yeah, it was Coke, I think. So anyway, thanks for the free Coke, lady. We chatted there for a while. And then we headed out back to the con because it was closing in. It really wasn't that close to 2, but it was. We just kind of hung out in the lobby for a while, kind of just, took in the con atmosphere. And the guys know, like, I know a lot of people, so we were just kind of waiting to see who I might run into that I know. And I don't remember if we actually saw many people I know at that first early, but it was early on Friday, right? So a lot of people hadn't shown up yet. But yeah, so we eventually got into the dealer's den. We bought some stuff, and we spent quite a bit of time in there, almost like 2 hours. We went in at 2, and I think we probably were in there for a couple hours. There was a lot of stuff to see. But yeah, by that point, Toshabi was going to be coming over. He was going to be Ubering on that day. And by that point, it was about time for Toshabi. So he was going to meet us at a place on the strip. So what we did was we went back to the Tuscany, dropped off all of our stuff from the dealer's den, and then hopped in an Uber over to where Toshabi was. And we met with Toshabi, said hello, and yeah, we did some gambling. We played some craps on. We did some gambling earlier, by the way, in that day at the Virgin as well. But we went to this place to do some craps together, and we played some craps. We had fun. Went pretty well. And then we stopped, and I think, man, it wasn't that late, but what did we do after that? Then they wanted to go, Otterly wanted to go to the Venetian because he had been to this shop and he wanted to buy something for his mom for like a souvenir. What a thoughtful guy. Listen, he's a nice guy, okay? I definitely would not have bought something for my mom. Well, I actually have bought stuff for my mom, but listen, he's a nice guy. So we went to the Venetian, and he was looking at to buy some stuff for his mom. I was taking care of Toshabi because Toshabi had been relatively sober and taking care of us on Thursday. And I say relatively, but relatively is it's a word. But Friday he was like, "Well, today I'm gonna drink and have a lot of drinks and stuff and have fun because like I don't know, it's my turn, which is totally fair." And so I was kind of keeping an eye on him, and the guys went to the shop to buy Otterly's mom some bath stuff. I'm not exactly sure what, to be honest with you, but they were buying bath stuff, and I was playing a hot werewolf slot machine with Toshabi and drinking, and then we finished that. And I don't think it was that late, but I don't think we really did anything after that. I mean, I guess maybe. Oh, we went to Popeyes at the Venetian. Well, Toshabi went to Popeyes, and then Cole and them came and met us. I say Cole and them because I remember Cole bought some chicken at Popeyes, and we have a Polaroid there, which I can show on the stream. But yeah, so we did that, and then I guess they wanted to go back. I'm not sure what time that even was. Maybe it was like 11, maybe, but I'm not even sure if it was 11. I could probably check my Uber history, but I bought them an Uber to send them back. Wow, what a nice, generous guy I am. I just realized that. What a generous guy I am. But yeah, I bought them an Uber to go back because I knew they were tired. And Toshabi and I continued to peruse on the strip, have some drinks, live it up. And that was a late night because Toshabi walked me back to the Tuscany because, listen, the strip in Las Vegas is extremely safe. When you go to somewhere off-strip, like the Tuscany or the Con Hotel, Alexis Park, it can be sketchy at times in the middle of the night. And so Toshabi said, I'll just walk you back. So he walked me back to the Tuscany, then he got his Uber from there back to the house. And that was my only I would say a super late night, because that was like 3-ish a.m. because we did have to walk a long freaking way. But we made it back, and I went to bed. All was good. So Saturday, we're waking up in the morning. What did we do on Saturday? Is this where we went to get... burritos. Did we get breakfast burritos on that day? Was that when we went to get Mexican food? I don't know. I think it was. So anyway, we woke up and all of us walked. Wait, or no, did we shuttle on that day? We may have shuttled on that day. I don't remember. We might have shuttled on that day, though. It's very possible we took the shuttle on that day. I don't remember. Oh, maybe we took the shuttle and then we went over to get Mexican food from there. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, we had an escape room at 1 o'clock. And so we had some time in the morning. So I think we got something to eat. I don't really know. I'm pretty sure that's what we did. So we had our food and it was yummers. And then we went to our escape room at 1 o'clock. We did good. I would say we won. So that was cool. And then we were going to be meeting up with Garflin. For those of you who know Garflin, he's in my stream sometimes. He's a member of Team Thunderfang, cool guy. And he was with some other friends, some of whom I knew from Twitch and stuff, and some of who I didn't know and got to meet. I got to see Chen Pie. He's also a streamer and a puppy dog. And I'll probably, well, I posted the pic on Twitter. Or no, I posted it on Blue Sky, I think. Maybe I posted on both. I don't know. But yeah, I got to meet him. He's an awesome guy. And so then we just kind of hung out in the lobby for a while and chatted. I don't really remember for how long, but quite a bit of the afternoon because it was still early. And I think maybe I remember what happened now. Okay. So yeah, we were there and then, Otterly and Garflin wanted to go back to the dealer's den. We'd spent a lot of time in there, and I'll be honest, I don't think either Kel, Cole, or I were all that interested in going back in, at least at that moment. So what we said we would do is we go back to the room. And is this when we took the shuttle? Maybe that's when we took the shuttle? I don't remember. But we went back to the room, and this is Saturday, right? This is Saturday, and let me tell you about Saturday. It's a cool day. And you know what we did, guys? Let me tell you what we did. We drank. We drank quite a bit. And Saturday was a cool time. It was just me, Kel, and Cole, and we had a lot of drinks. And we went to the casino. I remember we were causing quite the ruckus at the casino. And that was the first time. There was a particular waitress character at the Tuscany who will become a recurring character. But that's the first time she was there. She gave us some drinks. And she was cool. And we played a lot of slots. We kind of did okay overall, I would say, but we were there for quite a while, just gambling, kind of just chilling before we knew we'd go back to the con and do other con stuff. But I think it was just kind of our go wild moment. We'd taken a lot of shots and we were just like, let's do this, brother. And so, yeah, so we were very drunk. And at some point, Otterly, I think, reached out and said he was coming back, or maybe we just ran into him. I don't really know, but he came back to the con hotel. And I remember this. Then we definitely took the shuttle back. And I remember it well because I asked the guy. So there was like a free shuttle that went for the con provided to go from our hotel at the Tuscany to the Alexis Park where the con was. And I remember it well because we got to the Alexis Park and I asked the dude, I was like, hey, do you take tips? And or no, I was like, do you have a tip jar? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, well, like in my head, I'm just like, oh, that sucks. And I was like, well, do you take tips? And this guy got like the happiest look on his face. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, cool. And then I gave him a tip. But yeah, so then we were back at the con and we were all pretty drunk. Well, me and Kel and Cole were pretty drunk, as we tended to be. And I think... I'm not really sure if we did anything before that, but we were going to this VOR meetup. I think it was for Kel. We were going, or a VOR panel. I don't know. It was something VOR for Kel. And so we were going there. And, earlier in the story, we met some cool guys from Reno at our hotel. They were staying right below us at the Tuscany, like the room below Kel and Cole and I. So we had hung out. And we met and so then I remember we ran into them again. And I'm sorry, some of this might be a little patchy because me and Kel and Cole, keep in mind at this point, Saturday night, we've consumed an amount of alcohol that would probably scare you wholesome people. So we were quite inebriated, but I remember we saw the guy again, one of the guys from that meetup. I don't know if he was into VOR. I guess he was into VOR. He was at the VOR meet, right? I don't know. But was he? I don't know. But anyway, so we saw them and then we did that meet thing, and I'll be honest, I don't really remember a lot of it. I was drunk, and I think I took some pictures of Kel because Kel was looking pretty tired. I'm not gonna lie to you. So yeah, we did that, and then we went back to the lobby, and it's still pretty early. I think it was like 8 o'clock ish, and we're in the lobby and just kind of chilling. And at some point, I saw some friends of mine, Lapat in the secret cave, and I had seen them. When did I see them before? I saw them earlier that day, or maybe the day before. I don't really remember, but I saw them. I had seen them once before at the con, and I'd said hey, and we were going to see each other again. But then I just saw them randomly while we were. Oh no, actually, someone pointed them out. I don't remember. I don't remember either Kel, Cole, or Utterly. Someone said, "Oh, look, it's your popular friends," and they were shooting in the lobby, and I was like, "Yo!" And I ran over and was like talking to them and stuff for quite a while. I think honestly, quite a while. And I think Kel and Cole and Otterly were doing their own thing in the lobby, just chilling. And at some point, I remember Otterly came over to say bye to me because Kel and Cole were quite drunk. And I think the reasoning behind him taking them back was that they were like laying down drunk because they weren't socializing. For me, I was like probably as drunk easily, but I was standing up socializing. So I think in Otterly's mind, maybe, and listen, I'm not trying to think for him, but I think that's what his logic was. We deduced that. The three of us deduced that after that Kel and Cole were like passing out and I was fine. I was standing talking to my friends. So he said, all right, I'm taking them. And I'm like, okay. I'm okay. I'm totally fine being alone, doing things on my own. So anyway, eventually Lapat and TSC left. And so I was chilling in the lobby, but I knew I had a lot of people to see still. I always say it like I don't go to a lot of cons and I know a lot of people. So that means when I go to a con, I have a lot of people to see. So I said, all right, well, tonight's my night. Everyone's back at already, I guess, passed out. I don't know. It's like 8 freaking o'clock. I'm like, tonight's my night. I'm going to go try to see everyone that I need to see. So I was messaging some people that I knew. And I had one friend come through. I think actually he reached out to me first. So good timing, friend. But he reached out to me and... oh, thoughtful. A few people actually. I'm thinking about it. A few people reached out to me and said, you know, where are you at? That's cool. But yeah, anyway, he reached out to me and he came to the lobby and we got to chat. We've known each other a long time, probably like 10 years, and we got to see each other and chat for a bit, hang out, have like a little low key kind of hangout deal, and so that was really fun. And then he left at some point. And then I got a hold of my other friend who I didn't remember this for a while, but he had told me he was at like the night market. There's like a night market, which is like the AD version of like the dealer's den. And it's like where the sussy stuff is. And so he was like, I'm at the night market. And I remember in my drunken state, I had went there to look for him, not found him. And then went back to the lobby and texted him again. And I think I just said like, hey, let me know when you're like in a room or like at a place where you can tell me like, cause the night market, right? It's like that's a landmark, right? You can say I'm at the night market, but it's a big place and it's like dark and it's not a really good place to like, hey, come here to meet me. So I was like, let me know when you're somewhere that I can definitely find you. And so like he came back and was like, yeah, I'm here at the room. And I was like, okay, hell yeah. And actually, I think before that he had told me he was at the party block. So I was actually already almost there. I had just been at that point, right? I was just in my full Raichu kind of nomad mode. I remember I was just wandering around the party block looking for people I knew because I know so many people. And he had messaged me and said, I'm here. And I'm like, whoa. And by the way, the con grounds, they're very spread out. So like, it was very like walking from the lobby to where he was would have taken a long time, but I just happened to be right by there. And I was like, whoa, well, that's pretty lucky. I'm right next to that. So then I went there. I met my friend Siggy, who I've known Siggy for like not quite 10 years. We debunked that because I thought it'd been 10 years and he said, I haven't even been a furry for 10 years. So, but it's been a lot of years. It's been a minimum of 6 years, probably between 6 and 8, if I had to guess. But yeah, we finally got to meet and it was awesome. He gave me some shots. I definitely needed that, but listen, I did need that. So we had some shots. I think I got a drink too, like a cocktail, from their suite. They had a suite. So it was like a bunch of people and I got to meet a bunch of people and it was cool. I was like, yo, people, I love meeting people. And so I met some people and that was a lot of fun. Got to meet my friend, and then they were like, "Oh, are you gonna like go to the rave?" And I was like, "I'm very easy at cons, right?" I'm like, "Sure." Like I wasn't going to, like it wasn't like on my list, but like if you're going, sure, I'll go. So we went to the rave, and we got to the rave, and I had a drink in my hand, and so you're not allowed to. And it's a good idea, right? Like you're not allowed to bring drinks up there because you already know drunken idiots are going to be like spilling stuff on the dance floor and stuff. I definitely would have spilled stuff, like 100%. It was a very good idea to not let me up there with a drink. So total respect to them for not letting me up there with a drink. But that meant I had to chug the drink, so I chugged the drink, and then we all went up, and we danced and stuff. I don't know, whatever you do at raves. We were just talking, dancing, etc. I remember at one point I was really drunk there, and I like fell, not fell per se, but like I kind of stumbled, and some random ass person had to catch me. So you know what? If random person that had to catch me on the dance floor, if you happen to have been the person that caught me, thank you so much for catching me. I appreciate it because I was quite inebriated. So thanks a lot. I appreciate that. You saved my life. So thanks. That's really cool of you. And they didn't really save my life, probably, but they did catch me. So thanks for catching me. So anyway, we did that for a while, and then we were done with the rave, and they were going to go to the lobby to pee. Which, yeah, that's the closest. Yeah, it would have been a hike back to their suite. So they actually went to the closest place to pee, which was the lobby. So that was actually a good decision. I remember at the time I wasn't really sure. I was like, why aren't they going to their room to pee? But the lobby was actually a lot closer. So it was actually a good decision to go there to pee at the lobby. So they went to the pee at the lobby. And I remember it was like 2 a.m. at this point. And so I knew I needed to be getting back. And I wasn't going to be walking from the... I wasn't going to walk from the Alexis Park to the Tuscany. It's a very sketchy place. I definitely would have got stabbed walking there at 2 a.m. by myself. So I said, no. And so I called an Uber. So great job me being drunk and responsible. But it was like 2 a.m., right? So I was like, oh, well, the Uber is probably going to take like 10 minutes to get there. And so they went in to pee, and I called the Uber, and I was like, oh, I got a few minutes, so they'll come back out. We'll chat for a few, and then I'll leave. But for whatever reason, that random Uber at this random hotel was there like in 1 millisecond. It's like, they're already here. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I ended up just leaving. My friend was still in the bathroom. And I texted them after and was like, hey, I'm sorry. My Uber got there really, 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 really fast. And they were obviously cool with it and stuff. But it was very awkward because like in my mind, I was like, oh, I'll save time by like calling the Uber, waiting 10 minutes. So I have to like, you know, I got to talk to them and stuff. And then eventually, you know, like it seemed in my mind like a freaking genius idea. In hindsight, it was a dumbass idea. But I thought it was a good idea. And I guess it could have been a good idea. It just kind of wasn't. But it could have been. Maybe. You think so? I think it could have been a good idea. So, yeah. I went bye-bye and went back to the room. And Saturday, I mean, literally, I think I went just straight to the room. Honk shoe. So, now, we're getting back to, what day? We're getting to Sunday. Waking up in the morning, gotta say it's Sunday. So anyway, Sunday, I remember this day. So, every other day we'd all left together, but on Sunday, we were going separate because I think Otterly had went with the Reno guys. Otterly, by the way, had formed quite a bond with the Reno guys, which, by the way, I saw the Reno guys. I forgot to put this in the story. On Saturday night, I saw the Reno guys again in the lobby while I was waiting for friends and stuff in there. So I saw them like 1,000,000 times in one day randomly. So that was rather fortuitous. But anyway, I guess Otterly and them had hit it off really good because he had left with them to the con, I think. That was the only day that we all didn't go together to the con, I think. So Otterly left with them. Me and Kel and Cole were ready to start our day. And so we started our day and we went to eat at Panera, which Kel likes Panera, I guess. It was fine. I had a bagel. I like bagels. And then we went on the way from Tuscany to Alexis Park, the walk, there's like a very sketchy, rundown looking, like very suspicious looking casino called the Silver Sevens. And I'd never been in there, and we were all there. It's like the daytime, it's safe, and I'm like, guys, let's go to the Silver Sevens, and they're like, okay, whatever, like sure, okay, and so we went to the Silver Sevens, and yeah, it was pretty much nothing. It was a sketchy casino, no big deal. So yeah, so we left the Silver Sevens, we went to the con, and this is Sunday. Went to the con, and we what did we do? I guess we went to the dealer's den a little bit. We kind of walked around. Oh, we went to the pool. We hung out at the pool for a while on that day, which was cool. We hung out with the Reno guys again, and Otterly went with the Reno guy, one of the Reno guys, to the Otter meetup because they're an Otter also. And so then me, Kel, and Cole were chilling. I think just really the three of us, kind of. So then we finished up at the pool, and we've been in the pool, so we're all gonna go back to the hotel, obviously, right, to change and whatnot. So we went back to the Tuscany. I think we took the shuttle, or did we walk? I think we took the shuttle. I think. So we took the shuttle. I think. Not that confident, but I think. And we went there and we changed, and we and then we went to the casino, all of us, and we were acting like idiots. And again, oh, I forgot to tell you, on Sunday morning, I saw the same waitress from Saturday night at the Tuscany. And she was like, hey, I remember you from yesterday, when on my closing shift yesterday. And I was like, yeah, we're back, baby. So that was funny. But then, yeah, Sunday night, we're all at the casino gambling. Let me tell you, I kind of slayed that night. I made a lot of money, and a lot of money, a whole lot of money. It was pretty, we were cooking. And we played blackjack at the actual blackjack table. I utterly had wanted to try that, and we both got kind of crushed. Bad. It was a bad run of cards, real bad run of cards. Unfortunate there, but overall, I was up a lot that day. It was a good day at the gambling. So then it's Sunday night. We got to go back to the con. Who went back to the con? Did all of us go together? Is my question. Yes, we all went together. I believe we all took the shuttle. Kel, Cole, and I are absolutely plastered drunken idiots, utterly as sober as can be, dealing with us, poor guy. We got there, and he immediately ran off to go hang out with one of the Reno guys. Totally understandable. We're all drunken idiots. But yeah, the drunken idiots, a.k.a. Kel, Cole, and Raichu, went to the Vor. I think this one was the Vor party. I don't know the lingo, but it was a Vor something. But I liked it because they had a bar there. And so we ordered some drinks from the bartender at the Vor party, and we got our drinks, and then we were there for a little bit, and then a friend of mine had messaged me and said, "Hey, are you still at the con?" And I said, "Hell yeah, brother, come say hello." So he came to say hello. So I got to meet another friend that I've known for 10 years, which was freaking awesome. Very happy to get to meet him. So yeah, I got to meet him. We chatted for a while, and then we went to we were going to go to the roof, which was I don't know if it was the rave or the dance or whatever, but we were going to the roof again. And again, I guess, I don't know, drunken me forgot again that you're not allowed to have drinks. So I tried to bring a drink again, and the guy stopped me again and was like, no. And so I had to chug a drink again to get onto the roof. And so we went onto the roof. By the way, they have the rave is at the roof, on the roof of this hotel. It's sick, dude. If you've been to raves at other hotels, this one is so effing sick. So yeah, we went to the rave roof place and raved, danced. I don't know. We danced. I remember we were breaking it down pretty hard. And then we went back. I remember Kel, Cole, and I were very, very drunk, and we walked back. The shuttle was already closed. It was 2 a.m. Otterly had went back at some point. He told us, I remember, but we were drunk. We're like, okay, good luck. But yeah, we walked back because there was no shuttle, and we got back, and Cole told me, he said, give us some time because we're gonna have sex or something, I don't know. And so I said, okay. And so I was at the casino for half an hour and 45 minutes or something. And I also won a lot of money. How am I so effing good, dude? I remember I won a bunch of money that time too. So we made a bunch of money, and then I went back and went to bed, honk shoe. And then Monday rolls around, and it's time to check out of the con hotel because the con is over. We checked out. We went back to the Horseshoe. where we had been on Wednesday as well. I had gotten us a free room on Monday as well because the guys weren't leaving till Tuesday. So we got back to the Horseshoe, checked in. TLDR had many issues checking in there. But Monday was mostly just a chill day. We went to the arcade. We went to get some Taco Bell. We did gamble some. Had some. No, actually, I don't think we drank. I think Otterly was the only one that drank that day, which is wild. That's crazy. I think he's the only one that drank. We had all drank enough. We were done. We had enough. Okay, we were ready to stop. So, but yeah, it was a chill day. And then Tuesday morning, woke up and Kel and Cole went to the airport at like 4 or 5 a.m. So they Ubered over, and then I took Otterly to the airport at like 10 or 11 a.m. or something. And then I went home, and then that's the end, and that's LVFC in a nutshell. So you just got the whole full scoop from Raity's perspective. So as you can see, I was with Kel and Cole like most of the time, the entire con. Otterly was there a lot, and then I just had a little bit of time on Saturday night, and when did I guess Friday and I guess really Thursday, Friday night I had with Toshabi, and then Saturday night I had with my other friends, and then Sunday night I was with them basically the whole night. So yeah, it was a great time, and yeah, really enjoyed it, and looking forward to next year. I always love LVFC. It really is an incredibly fun con. So much to do, so much to see. I got to see everyone except one person that I wanted to. So that was good. Didn't get to spend as much time with everyone as I wanted to, but you know what? There's always next time, and I'm hopeful that it will happen then. So I guess, yeah, it was an interesting con experience overall, and like, it was, for me, it was kind of a learning experience in the sense of like, it was my first ever con I've been to, well, single, ever. So it was a new kind of, it felt like, I don't know, I could be a little more independent, which like even, seeing like what happened on Saturday night, like I was able to just go off and do my thing, or, I guess it kind of was like on a couple days I hung out with Toshabi late at night, and then I hung out with like some other friends late at night on Saturday, and on Sunday I hung out with, Kel and Cole late at night, like all night. And so, yeah, it was like, I don't know, just a little, I guess, flexibility in that sense. I was able to kind of be, a little more, and I do really well, like just roaming. Like I am a good roamer. I can roam by myself very well. I am totally fine being on my own or hunting people down, or like, I don't know, just kind of being a loner. Like I'm really good in groups. I think my like strongest social skill is probably like among medium-sized to large groups, but I also do really well. And it's so interesting because I always talk about how like I am a really for an extrovert, right? I am a really strong as far as like doing things on my own or doing things solo. Like I'm really happy being a loner and like kind of like being a little gremlin by myself too. I love obviously spending time around people, but I'm also really good at doing loner type activities. So it was cool to just kind of be able to be a little bit of a loner. Not really sure I had that too much, or I have had that in my past too much. So it was a different experience, but I did enjoy it, and it is fun just to kind of I'm only out for myself, and so that's all I got to worry about is myself, and just do things by myself or for myself or whatever I feel like. It's like it's very powerful, and like it wasn't as lonery as I expected, since we had people from the community, so I was trying to keep them help where I could, like even when I gave the example of when I Ubered them back on what day was that? Friday. Like I could have just said see you guys later, but like they wouldn't have known how to get back to the hotel very well. So I tried to take care of them. So I wasn't like fully loner mode. But you never know. I mean, in the future, who knows who will be coming to LVFC, and maybe we'll have a true, or maybe I'll go to a con where I'm a true loner and I gotta learn the lay of the land. I feel like I'm like navigationally, I'm pretty good. Like I haven't been to MFF in 10 years, and I'll bet I could navigate that area really well still. say, and if I went to a con that I've never been to, for example, like I bet I could still thrive. I bet. So yeah, I guess that was really the main thing is like doing things lonery, and I guess like I don't know, like feeling like I don't know how to describe it. Just getting like I guess like for me, something I've always had is kind of like main character syndrome. I think I've talked about that before, but I definitely have that which is it's not a good thing per se, but it is what it is. And I feel like the main character a lot. And I think this con helped me to just kind of take a step back and not be the main character. Like I was a lot of people's side characters. Like I was very engaged in a lot of people's con story. As far as like things that I did with them or like seeing them or like people reaching out to me wanting to do things, meet up, etc. I think I was a lot of people's uh an important side character in a lot of people's um con, but no, I didn't have the main character energy that I feel like I'm used to having at cons like this. So it was a little bit of a different experience, and I don't mind it honestly. Like for me, right? I'm naturally. I guess it kind of comes back to the same thing as like being an extrovert, but also doing well in introverted situations. Like I am a leader, and I've always been. And I've been in a lot of leadership roles and positions in my life, right? But I'm also very comfortable and good when needed at taking a step back and letting someone else lead if need be. And I like empowering others to kind of be the main character or the leader in certain areas. So I'm actually really comfortable. I know some people who are like really headstrong kind of leaders that have to be the main character or the leader. I'm actually pretty okay with taking a step back and saying like, okay, well, I'm not the leader or the main character here. Like, yeah, I'll let you lead, and I'll just be a dude vibing. Which especially at cons, right? I usually only go to one, maximum two cons a year, and so for me, I like to make the most of it and just be able to unwind and just kind of let loose. And not be too responsible because in my normal life, I'm very responsible, boring. I have a very set routine. It's very honk shoe, honk shoe. So being able to just let loose, go crazy, go wild, and just live it up, it's always really, really nice for me. Um, as far as I guess cons, right? Like I think I had a realization. This is the longest I've been away from Jax. I didn't see him from Thursday till Tuesday. Which is 2 days longer than the longest I've ever left him, which even that was not very long. And Tushabi even texted me on the first night I was gone and said that Jax was like frantically looking around the house for me. And so I think unfortunately for me, like it kind of just reiterated to me that I really owe this dog. Jax is slowing down a lot, and I talked about that in a past podcast episode as well. He's slowing down. He's about to be 10 years old, and I had a lot of anxiety at the con of worrying about if something would happen to him while I was gone, or if he was going to be going through any kind of stress, not having me there, etc. Because he and I, for the last year, pretty much have it's just been he and I, and we've been all each other has had here. So, um, I know we've bonded a lot, and I don't want him to be uncomfortable in the last years of his life because he has faced a lot of abandonment in his life. I mean, that's how we got him at 7.5 years old. So I that's really what I'm trying to avoid is him having to feel bad, and also me feeling bad because yeah, I realized like I'm feeling a lot of stress, not having like being apart from him and worrying if he's going to be okay and etc. And so I think like it's really unfortunate for me because I really did have a great time at the con. I met a lot of people that I want to, and there's like I realized like there's a lot of more people I want to meet. I want to be able to hang out with more furries and do more furry events and stuff, and just kind of like spread my wings socially. Um, but it's going to be a challenge. I think it's going to be too much of a challenge for me to even do much until Jax is passing someday. Um, just because yeah, I feel guilt if I leave him, and even leaving him with Toshabi, I felt guilt and I felt fear that if something bad would happen to him. And that's not like saying like I think anything's gonna bad gonna happen to him like with Toshabi, but just like in general, I guess it's just a fear and a worry. And going through what he's gone through, I guess as an empathetic person, I've kind of vibed with him that well because he did come to us like as a work in progress. Like he had a lot of issues and like fears, and he wasn't like a, he wasn't like a model dog, right? Like you get a dog and they're perfect in every way. He had trauma and he had issues, and we've been working through it, and he's gotten a lot better. But I don't know. I just like, again, the empathy, like I feel for him, like worrying if he's okay, or like just being terrified that something bad's gonna happen to him. Um, it's a lot. And I feel like, and maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you guys might listen to this and go like, that's crazy. Like you have a dog, like you just leave him. That's what you do. And you have pets, you have to go on vacation and stuff. But I, I feel like other than LVFC, I think, unfortunately, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to go to any other cons. And it's sad because I really wanted to go to FWA, to EF, to AC. Like I even bought Reg. Um, and so, but I don't think I can do it. Maybe in another situation where Toshabi could watch Jax, but I don't think I can leave him at the doggy daycare for like that many days, just because not only is it expensive, but also I feel like it's not the same. Like it's a little more stressful for him to be there for so long, and he has fun at doggy daycare, but as he gets older, I just worry. I just worry about him, and um, yeah, that was an underlying theme as well. I think I even was talking to the guys in one of the days. I was like, guys, this is the longest I've ever been apart from Jax. I don't know how to handle it. Um, so it's tough. It's tough, and I probably I'm overly empathetic toward him. Like he's probably would be fine. 99%, he'd be more than fine. But I just want to make sure that he knows that I'm there, like by his side, and he's not going to be abandoned by me. I will be there with him, sacrificing my own social life, even though there are so many places I want to go. I just bought like, oh man, there's a lot of places and cons I want to go to and stuff, but I feel like I owe it to him before I can be a crazy traveler. And I hope if financially, if I'm able after, and I'm not, unfortunately, I'm a little overly realist guy, and I can talk about like sad things. I remember even when my grandma's health was deteriorating, like talking about it, and other people would be like, how can you talk about that? And it's like, well, I just have to be realistic. Like there will be a time. Um, but yeah, I guess like once that time does come, I'm gonna go be able to be my free, crazy con arc. But until then, I'm gonna be as loyal to him as I can. I hope. Again, you don't know how many more LVSCs he has, but if he has a few more LVSCs, I'll hopefully have Toshabi come over to, assuming schedules line up, I'll have Toshabi come over to take care of him while I'm at LVFC. And other than that, I guess worst case, even at LVSC, I might have to cut it short, like just this Friday through Sunday or something. That would kind of suck. I do like going Thursday to Monday, but it got extended, right? Like it got extended from Wednesday to Tuesday this year, but I think Thursday to Monday would be my absolute max, and it could be even shorter. Just because, yeah, and I don't know, man. Maybe I am a psycho for that, but I just worry for him, and I know he's had abandonment issues, been abandoned, been left at the shelter for a year, all by himself. Left after 7 years with the family just because they didn't like him anymore. And it hurts my heart. It really does, and I feel like a curse, right? Like empathy. It sucks, but I'm scared that he'll ever have to feel like uh, you know, that I ever would do that, or that I'd be gone. So, other than my home con, which kind of is, I don't want to say it's unavoidable. If I was a really good owner, I would avoid that too. Um, Other than that, and if I guess in a case of an emergency family situation or something, I think other than that, I don't know if I would leave for the next, however many years we have left with Jax. Um, yeah, I guess that was my other underlying theme. Just realizing like that he is my priority and like how seriously I take that responsibility that we adopted him. Now going on 2.5 years of adoption after his really rough 7.5 years. It's kind of interesting, right? It's been a quarter of his life now that he's been with us and with me, um, which it's really cool. I mean, I'm happy, and he unfortunately probably won't make it to half of his life with us since it was like 7.5 when he was adopted. So, I mean, he lived to 15. That'd be probably a little optimistic, but um, I'm happy that he's going to get a decent chunk of his life, having a good life, and I have continued to break my back for him, and I will continue to break my back for him, and hope that he'll enjoy the time because yeah, it's tough. It's really tough leaving him. Um, I know he was in good hands. Toshabi took good care of him, gave him a lot of treats, but I still felt fear that he could be worried, and he did look for me and wasn't really understanding. He's never had an experience where he was at the house without me there. So that was his first time experiencing that. So he just expected I would be there. I guess that he's never been at the house, and Rachel's not been there. Um, yeah, because the only times I've had to leave him, he would go to doggy daycare. So yeah, it was a new experience for him, and it was. But I mean, don't get me wrong. All that solemnness aside, I had an amazing time at the con, and I do owe it to myself at least to get a little bit of time like that. It's important for me to because I talk about it a lot, but even at home, even on a rest day, like today, I would say is a pretty much like a restful day. Today is Sunday, and it's a restful day. Like I'm not doing work, and I'm still recording a podcast. I uploaded a YouTube video. I'm walking Jax twice, feeding him, cooking for the week, like taking out the trash. Like I'm doing a lot of chores, and that's just a few of the chores that I'm doing. So it's not really a rest day, right? So having those actual like full vacation type days where I didn't do anything even remotely responsible on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday last week, right? Because Thursday I did. Technically, I drove us around a few times, and on Monday I did drive us around a few times. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I had 3 full days where I did not do anything responsible, and it was good, and it's needed, and I feel like I feel like that kind of reset is really important, and I need to make sure I can have those, but just happens to be a lot of them will be around here, where I can keep an eye on Jax and make sure that he's taken care of. But you know what? Even getting occasional 1 days off could be nice. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It's a whole thing, man. And it's like we knew when we adopted Jax that it wasn't going to be easy. I don't really know how to take care of a dog. I don't know if Toshabi really did either. We're all just kind of winging it and hoping for the best. And I hope that Jax will continue to have a good life. I think he's having one. I really don't know, and it's interesting, right? As someone who doesn't really know how to take care of a dog, like you wonder if you're doing good. Like, is he happy? Am I doing things right? Am I doing things wrong? Who the hell really knows, right? All you can do is kind of hope for the best and see, and yeah, I guess just trust in yourself is the key, right? You got to trust in yourself and trust that what not most people, we really don't know what we're doing in life in general. I feel like pretty much everyone listening to this probably an adult, I imagine. And as an adult, you just kind of figure stuff out, right? Like you don't know what you're doing. Like I don't know how to freaking do taxes, or like when I bought the freaking house, I don't know how to buy a house. Are you effing kidding me? But you figure it out. That's just kind of how life goes. That's how taking care of a dog goes. You figure it out. I don't know how to take care of them, but you know what? We're gonna try. And thankfully, I'm sure things in general for anyone doing anything was like a billion times harder, like a long time ago, because there wasn't the internet and stuff. But in this day and age, we've got the internet. You've got resources. That's freaking awesome. I can look up. I can Google. That's my trick, and I think other people do this too, where you Google, can my dog eat this? What was the one we had with Jax the other day? Some food. I don't remember. What was it? I don't remember. There was something though, and I was like, well, I'll just Google and see if he can eat that, and he could eat that. But yeah, that's usually the way to go. You use your resources. God, can you imagine like 50 years ago, like people trying to like, can my dog eat this? And then they just don't know, and they're like, fuck it, give my dog some grapes, and then their dog dies horribly. Which, by the way, fun fact for those of you who don't know, grapes are very bad. Grapes and onions, I think, are the two really, really, really bad fruits and veggies for dogs. They're the only two that I know of off the top of my head that are like really bad. I think avocados are maybe as well, but a lot of people don't have avocados. But onions and grapes are pretty common. Like I haven't eaten any grapes since we've had Jack's. I kind of like grapes. And I have onion rings in the freezer, which I'm not really sure why I bought them, because I knew it's not smart to have them around when Jack's around, because you never know. I mean, obviously, just don't let him have them, but it's just fear, I guess. I don't know if that's a weird fear to have, but yeah, I don't know. It's just funny thoughts, right? The life before the internet. I guess I kind of lived before the internet for a little bit, at least before it was mainstream. What would you do for that kind of thing? I don't know. Ask your parents. And then when you're adult, thank God I didn't have to live as a freaking adult without the internet. That would have been horrible. I should ask my parents what that's like. I bet it's horrible. You gotta like, what do you do? Do you look in freaking encyclopedia or something? What do you do? Do you like ask your neighbor? Do you call your friend and ask them like, hey, you call your vet friend and say, hey, is this okay? What do you do? Life is crazy, dude. Thank God for the internet. Imagine if the internet was never invented. That would be so horrible. Like we'd have to first off, all of us would not know each other, most likely. That's freaking horrible. But wow, I don't know. In deep thoughts of the day, life is way better with the internet. I know, it's a shocking take from the right. You please don't cancel me for having such a controversial take. But you know what? I'm allowed to have a controversial take because it's my podcast. I'm allowed to. I remember the Con Garflin was like telling his friends like, oh, Raichu has his own podcast. I was like, yeah, I do. And here we are on the podcast right now. Here and now. But I think I've got some changes coming to the podcast, which I'll announce. What day is this episode debuting? The 4th? I think on the 18th? Is that the next one? Hold on. Let me do some mathematical equations here. So this will debut on the 4th, and then the 18th. Yeah, I think on the 18th I'll have a few announcements when we'll chat a little bit about the future of the podcast and what's to come, because I've got some things that I've been cooking up in my little brain. My brain's been doing a little cooking. For a few days I turned it off and drank a lot of alcohol, but now it's cooking. Now it's operating at peak operation. I don't know about peak, but pretty good. Pretty good operation. It's a decent level of operation, okay? It's not bad. I promise. It's pretty okay. We got some new game series coming up. I've got some new Raitube videos coming up. I got some fun stuff I'm going to do on the YouTube for sure. But yeah, we got a lot of we got a lot of stream series coming up. There's just a lot of stuff happening in general. I hope you guys are excited. I'm pretty excited. There's a lot of good stuff to come. We'll have to plan I was just thinking about this too, like our summer subathon. Well, I don't know if it'll be a summer or it'll be a fall this year. Who knows? Last year it ended up being a fall. Well, I don't know. What is September considered? Is that summer? It ended up being a little bit later because of my life events last year. This year, I'm not too sure. But I do need to plan it at some point. But I think we're still a little ways off. But it's going to come up fast. It's going to come up fast because we're already going to be in May. May is going to go fast. I'm already certain. June, I'm going to be away for a little bit. Actually, I might miss like 2 weeks of streaming in June because of some family stuff and because of some other stuff. So I may miss 2 weeks of streaming in June. It's going to be an interesting month, but it'll go fast because of that, right? Because we're just going to be Newman. So we're gonna have June go by fast. Then we're in July, and then it's basically like, well, if we want to have a subathon, we really have to start getting serious at that point and thinking about it because we're gonna be closing in. I don't know. Is July considered nearing the end of summer? Not really, but we're in the heart of summer. we're working through it. We gotta get to where we need to be. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming up. A lot of cool stuff, and we'll have Chili Max's really cool birthday party this year. And by birthday party, I mean we're gonna play one singular cool game. I don't know. We're gonna have cool things though. I promise you that. We're gonna probably start Chain of Memories in the fall. Our next Kingdom Hearts series, which I know there's one or two people in the world that like Kingdom Hearts, so they might be excited about that, or you just hate it because it's Chain of Memories. Who knows? But we'll get there. There's still so many games I want to play, so much I want to do. There's always way too much. So we'll just, I mean, you know what? We'll see what the rest of the year holds together, because I don't know what it'll hold. I came into the year with a lot of optimism, and I'm still feeling like we're doing a lot of good things. We're gonna meet cool people. We're gonna see cool people. We're gonna keep giving Jax the best life he can. I'm gonna keep crushing it at my job, and I don't know what else. I got a new nephew being born. We got a lot of cool stuff coming. I'm certain of that, and I'm happy that we'll most of those things we'll be able to share together here on the vaRAIety stream as we go through this crazy frickin' game of life together. Who knows what it's gonna hold? I don't frickin' know, dude. I don't know. I need a quiet number of days, like just make May and see, like I'm already like May is gonna be really busy. And then June is going to be really busy. July is going to be my Raiju sit back and relax vibe, I think. Oh, I'm going to see Smash Mouth in July. Did you guys know that? I'm going to go see Smash Mouth. Freaking Smash Mouth. Somebody once told me. But Steve, the old singer, is dead. Rest in peace. But the new guy has actually been he's kind of been crushing it. I listened when he first came on, I listened to him do it, and it wasn't very good. I'm going to be honest with you. But I listened to him recently, and he kind of slayed. So I'm going to see them in July, and then I have another concert in August. Then, oh man, I don't know. This year is shaping up to be, there's going to be quite a bit. And then end of the year always seems to be when more things start happening. Like both my mom and Toshabi's birthday are in September. So who knows if something will go down there. And I mean, I know a lot of people with September birthdays, like Yasha and Squeaky Orca. But yeah, and then October is already there, and hopefully, usually by October, I have a decent amount of time off left because I hoard it, and so then I can take like some time off around that time, November's holidays and December's holidays. So, guys, it may only be closing in on May, but the year is going to go fast. So buckle up with me. We've got good things to come. More podcast episodes, more YouTube videos, more streams, more community events. Speaking of which, we got to plan that next one out coming up relatively soonish. There's a lot on the plate. And we're going to keep it always busy, always rolling, and always full of fun. And, last year, I remember at the end of the year, I met up with a friend, and we were talking about just like our plans for 2025, and I remember I was particularly optimistic, and he was kind of he was actually similarly pessimistic. And he was like, I don't understand how you can just be so optimistic. And you know what? I don't know. We're just gonna hope for the best, and that's all we can do. I don't know. So who's to say what's gonna happen the rest of this year? Who we might meet? What cool things we might do? There's really no telling. And so we'll just find out together where and why and how and when and what and why and who and what and what and what and what and what and what. All the whats, all the who's, and all the whys. We're going to make it happen together. But yeah. So this is coming out on the what day? 4th. I think I established that. This comes out on the 4th, and then our next episode after that will be on the 18th, and I'll have an announcement. Other than that, I've also been working on my Alone in the Dark 3 speedrun. I think I'm almost ready to submit a run pretty soon, but I should probably play it a little bit more because I was doing it before the con and I was kind of cooking. But I need to get back on that grind, as they say. I need to be grinding it, and I need to get ready for to be. I think I've got number 2 in the bag, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I can get number 2 in the world in Alone in the Dark 3, very easily. I hope. That's what I'm going for right now. I think it's gonna go down. I'm gonna crush it. It's gonna be so cool, and yeah, I hope you guys will be watching it. Maybe I should do a live stream of that. I'm not really sure if I should do a live stream of my speed run, or if I should just like record it. I don't know. It was fun. We did the Commander Keen Dreams speed runs on the stream, and like I set the whatever record. What did I get? 3rd place on that. So maybe I will get a 2nd place in Alone in the Dark 3, but live on the stream with you guys here, and you guys will be so proud of me. You'll be like, "Woo, Raichu, yeah, baby." Most likely, I think that's probably the plan, because I don't know. It's fun to do that with you guys live. So that's my plan. I'm sticking to it. It's going down. Wonder when we should do that. Maybe that could be like my my 6-year Twitch anniversary sub and stream in June. Maybe. I'm gonna look into that. We're gonna check the dates, and we're gonna get it going. It's gonna be real cool. But until then, my friends, as always, I appreciate all your support. I guess don't forget, I upload YouTube videos every day, and I would love if you watched them. If you don't, that's okay. But I would like it if you did. So if you're able to, awesome. If you're not able to, no problem. But I hope to see you there, and I hope to see you at the streams. I'm sure I will. Right? Right? Right. Thank you so much for watching or listening.